After 3 years of betrayal, an incredible discovery reunites best friends in a heartwarming twist. The sun beat down on the bustling community fundraiser, a lively affair meant to resurrect the struggling town of Willow Creek. Cotton candy swirled in pink clouds, laughter bubbled up like a warm summer breeze, and yet, in the middle of all this joy, Jake's heart felt like a lead weight. He shifted on the sidelines, hammer in hand, acutely aware of the vibrant life swirling around him, yet all he could think about was Mia. It had been 3 long years since their perfect friendship shattered, and the sting of betrayal still tinged the air. As children, they had been inseparable. Their bikes became chariots of adventure, racing through the sleepy streets. They built castles from cardboard boxes, concocted grand schemes, and promised to always have each other's backs. But then came high school, with its relentless competition. A rivalry that had wormed its way into their hearts drove them apart, and one fateful moment of weakness turned Mia against Jake. Their friendship crumbled like dry leaves. Jake scowled, hammering harder into the wood. Back then, life had been simpler. Now it was a constant grind, endless odd jobs after long nights, just trying to make ends meet for him and his mom. He wished he could shake off the memories of a friendship now reduced to whispers and stolen glances. Mia, on the other hand, floated through the crowd like a glow of light. With her elite high school accolades and a circle of friends hanging on to every word she spoke, she wore her success like a crown. But beneath that dazzling exterior lay shadows of regret. Every time she saw Jake, the warmth of their shared past clashed violently with the reality of her betrayal, sending fissures of guilt through her heart. Caught in a moment of vulnerability as she led the fundraiser effort, Mia caught snippets of conversation that made her freeze. Mia's dad, he's the one who said. The sentence hung heavy in the air, and she strained to hear more. It felt as if the earth had shifted beneath her feet. Could it be true? Had her father played puppet master in their lives? The betrayal ran deeper than she had thought, and it twisted something inside her. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. The crowd thickened, and suddenly there he was, Jake, carrying the burden of a past they both ran from. Their eyes locked, a jolt of electricity surged, causing an embarrassing rush of warmth to flood her cheeks. Time stood still. All the unsaid words swirled around them in a dance of unresolved pain, and all that was left was the echo of betrayal filled with longing. Jake, Mia uttered softly, meaning to bridge the gap but instead ripping open old wounds. I need to talk. His expression, a mixture of guarded hope and simmering hurt, sent a rush of emotion through her. What would happen when they faced the truth? Would they crumble again, or would they rise together against the storm brewing around them? The clock ticked down, leaving them with just one vital question: could they find a way to heal when the scars cut so deep? Jake hesitated, his heart racing as Mia's words hung in the air like an unanswered prayer. The sounds of laughter and chatter faded into a dull roar as he tried to focus on her face, on the warmth that danced in her eyes. Could he really let her in again after everything? Mia, he started, his voice barely a whisper. Could he portray the whirlwind of emotions battling inside him? The part that still cherished their old friendship, and the part that felt the sting of betrayal every time he thought of her. The world around them moved on, oblivious to the heaviness between the two. The sun shone brightly, casting shadows from the carnival tents, creating an almost surreal quality to this moment. As people raced past them, none of it mattered. It was just the two of them, trapped in this bubble where time twisted and bent under the weight of missed chances. Can we talk somewhere private?" she asked, her voice shaking slightly. The tremor sent a wave of concern through him. What could be so pressing that it required secrecy? He glanced back at the crowd. His friends were setting up games, and they needed him. But Mia had always been a priority. She deserved his attention, his space. Yeah, let us go, he said, guiding her toward a quieter corner behind the old oak tree that stood sentinel, tall and strong against the backdrop of chaos. Once they were away from prying ears, the weight of words hung heavy. What did you want to tell me? He asked, his voice steadier than he felt. Mia hesitated, chewing her bottom lip. I overheard something about my dad, she confessed, exhaling slowly as if the breath had been trapped inside her for too long. I thought he was just being strict, but now I think he was manipulating things between us. He said things that caused our fight, Jake. I didn't know. Jake's heart raced. The revelation sent his thoughts spiraling. Your dad? He repeated, as though letting the words settle in the empty space between them. What do you mean? He played both sides. He wanted us to be rivals because it suited him, she explained, her voice cracking. He was always comparing us, pushing us to be better than one another. I didn't see it then, but it all makes sense now. The air felt charged. Mia's admission echoed in his mind, colliding with his memories of their carefree childhood. Loyalty twisted into competition on someone else's terms. So it wasn't just you who betrayed me? No. She gasped, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. I thought you were leaving me behind. I was so hurt and angry. I never wanted it to end like this, but I didn't know how to fight back. I believed him. The raw honesty between them felt cathartic, yet the painful specter of their past loomed heavy. For every hurt they had suffered, a parallel hurt beckoned to be healed. I'm sorry for my part in it too, Mia, Jake admitted, his voice like gravel. I know I shut you out. I didn't know how to trust again. Her gaze softened, and for the first time in 3 years, the distance between them began to feel like it might shrink. But as they both instinctively stepped closer, laughter erupted from the crowd, reminding them of the world beyond their shared pain. Do you think it's too late? She asked, vulnerable yet hopeful, with a tinge of fear creeping in. Jake felt his heart pound louder as he caught the flicker of uncertainty in her eyes. Was there a way back to each other? Could they reclaim what was lost, not just between them, but within themselves? Maybe, he murmured, just as the sky darkened with gathering clouds. But maybe not. The rumble of thunder rolled in, and they exchanged a look that held everything unspoken. Would this be the start of something new, or merely a fleeting moment before the storm separated them again? As the dark clouds loomed overhead, a small gust of wind rustled the leaves above them. Jake felt a shiver run down his spine, but it wasn't just from the change in weather. The truth of Mia's words settled in, this could unravel everything he thought he knew. Mia stepped closer, her hand brushing lightly against his. It was a tender gesture, but it made his heart race. I know it's complicated, Jake, she said softly, her eyes searching his for answers. But I believe we can fix this. I think we owe it to ourselves to try. He nodded slowly, feeling the weight of her sincerity. I want that. I really do, he admitted, his voice steadying. Memories of laughter and shared dreams swirled in his mind like the carnival lights flickering in the distance. But can we just start small? Of course, she replied, her smile breaking through the haze of worry. Just being here, talking, it's a step, isn't it? Jake felt a warmth spread through him, something he hadn't realized he'd missed. Yeah, it is. It feels right. But before he could articulate his growing hope, thunder cracked louder, echoing through the vibrant colors of the carnival. The sky rumbled ominously overhead, casting a pall over their moment. In that instant, a part of him felt like the storm was righting itself, while another feared the tempest that might follow. Maybe we should get back, he suggested, trying to mask the flutter of anxiety within him. Wait, Mia said, her voice stronger than before. Jake, I need you to know something else. This isn't just about the competition. It's about my dad's expectations too. I didn't realize he was using us against each other. I carried that guilt, but if we can untangle that. Her honesty chased away the last remnants of doubt clinging to him. So we aren't just fixing what happened between us. We can change the narrative altogether. She nodded, determination shining through her eyes. Exactly. We create our own path this time. But as hope flickered between them, another round of thunder rolled in, almost as if nature itself was responding to their buried emotions. Mia glanced up, concern etched on her face. We should really find shelter. Before Jake could respond, a heavy rain began to pour, drenching the carnival in seconds. The colorful tents became smudges of color through the sheets of rain as people scrambled for cover. Panic filled the air, but it felt distant, muted by the conversation he had just begun. Come on! He shouted above the downpour, taking her hand and pulling her toward a nearby tent that had been abandoned in the rush. They ducked inside, breathless and surprised at how close they were now, a narrow space filled with the scent of wet canvas and earth. The storm outside felt like an echo of their emotions, wild, unpredictable, and yet somehow cathartic. Jake's heart pounded as he looked into her eyes, the closeness igniting all sorts of unfinished feelings between them. What if we really tried? Mia's laugh mingled with the sound of raindrops pounding against the canvas. We'll have to brave more than storms. I'm up for the challenge, he said, feeling a surge of confidence. But just then, a flicker of lightning illuminated the tent, and the cascading shadows danced around them. A question lingered in the air. Would they truly have what it takes to endure the hardships, the fears, the lingering trust issues? The rain kept pouring, fierce and relentless outside, mirroring their inner chaos. Can we really rebuild this? He whispered, his heart heavy with uncertainty but ignited by something wholly new. Mia searched his gaze, her expression serious yet promising. With every storm, there's a chance for a rainbow, she said softly. As rain beat against the world outside, Jake felt the first seeds of hope taking root. Would they be able to face the storm together, or would their newfound connection be swept away in a torrential downpour? The rain pounded on the canvas, forming a rhythmic symphony that wrapped around them like a warm embrace. Inside the tent, the world transformed into a sanctuary. Jake's heart raced as he studied Mia's face, the way her eyes sparkled even under the dim light spilling in through the fabric walls. It felt surreal, and for a moment, he forgot about the chaos around them. What do we do now? He asked, his voice barely a whisper, as if speaking too loudly might shatter the delicate moment they had crafted with their words. Mia took a deep breath, the tension visibly easing in her shoulders. We let go of the past, she stated steadily. We admit our fears and our failures. And we promise to be honest. No more games. Jake nodded, the weight of her words settling deep within him. I haven't been honest with myself either, he admitted, reflecting on the hurt and betrayal that had shaped their lives. I thought keeping my distance was better. But it just hurt more. That was my fear too, Mia acknowledged, squeezing his hand. But this feels different. Like we're finally on the same page after all this time. Just then, another flash of lightning illuminated the tent, brief yet intense, casting strange shadows that ebbed and flowed like their past. For a heartbeat, the air thickened with unspoken emotions. Boundaries blurred, and the space between them felt electric, not just with the storm's fury, but with the vulnerability they were finally sharing. Do you remember when we used to dream about the future? He asked suddenly, a smile creeping across his face, filled with nostalgia. We had plans, big plans. We promised we'd never lose touch no matter what, but Mia looked down for a moment, swallowing hard. I know. Then life got in the way. I got scared. I hid behind what I thought I was supposed to be. What if we change that? He asked, his heart racing anew. What if we take those dreams and actually work towards them this time? Together? Mia's eyes brightened, and that smile returned genuine and radiant. I'd love that, she said, her voice filled with certainty. It's time to rewrite our story. They lingered in that moment, the storm outside howling, yet in their bubble, the world softened. Jake felt a rush of warmth, a sense of belonging he hadn't felt in years. Okay, so what's the first step? Mia's expression shifted slightly, and a flicker of mischief danced in her eyes. Well, we'll need to tackle our biggest obstacles first. He raised an eyebrow, curiosity piqued. You mean your dad? The competition? She nodded. First, we confront my dad. We have to be clear what we want. Then, together we face the competition not as rivals, but as a team. Jake felt a smile spread across his face as if a light had turned on within him. I can handle that. Besides, I've never backed down from a challenge. I know you can, she replied with a hint of pride in her voice. You're stronger than you think. We can face anything. Just then, outside, a particularly violent gust of wind shook the tent, and they both jumped slightly. Jake held on to Mia's hand tighter without thinking. She glanced up at him, amusement in her eyes. See? Even the storm wants us to stay here a bit longer. His laugh mingled with hers, resonant and light-hearted. For the first time in what felt like forever, Jake dared to reimagine their future together. But deep down, a flutter of anxiety tightened his stomach. Was he really ready to expose the wounds that lay beneath their optimism? Do you really believe we can fix this? He asked, his voice barely audible above the storm's roar. Mia's gaze softened. With every storm, there is a chance for a rainbow, remember? As lightning cracked once more, illuminating the dark space around them, Jake felt a surge of determination. This was just the beginning. But a sudden loud crash outside startled them both, and a feeling of dread washed over him. What was that? Jake asked, heart racing as the shadows danced around them. Mia's eyes widened, and her voice trembled slightly. I don't know, but it can't be good. Now they stood at the edge of uncertainty again. If their reconnection could weather the storm, did they have the strength to face whatever dark surprise lurked beyond the shelter of their tent? The tension in the tent was palpable. Jake's heart hammered in his chest as he listened to the rain batter against the canvas, each thunderous crash echoing the unease that churned inside him. Mia's fingers intertwined with his felt like a lifeline, drawing him back from the brink of his spiraling thoughts. What if it's he hesitated, his mind racing, what if it's something dangerous? Before she could answer, another crashing sound broke through the storm, a tree branch snapping in the wind, or perhaps something far worse. The uncertainty tightened like a vice around his chest. We should check, Mia said, her voice steady despite the panic in her eyes. Jake opened his mouth to protest, but something in her expression silenced him. She wasn't backing down. They had made a promise to face everything together. Clenching his jaw, he released her hand and crawled towards the tent entrance, where the storm raged on. Stay close, he warned, even as the wind howled. He pushed aside the tent flap, and the gust of cool air hit him like a slap. The world outside was a swirling torrent of darkness and chaos. There. Mia pointed, her voice strained against the wind. Just outside the tent, a fallen tree blocked their path almost completely. But beneath it lay something else, a dark shape, barely visible but evidently moving. Jake's stomach dropped. Is it hurt? No, I think it's trapped. Mia stepped forward, squinting against the rain, her natural instinct to help surfacing despite the danger. With one determined push, they both stepped out into the storm. Water soaked their clothes in seconds, and the cold seeping through made Jake shiver. As they approached, the shape began to emerge, a wet, shivering puppy, caught in the branches. Oh no! Mia dropped to her knees, her expression shifting to one of concern as she reached for the frightened animal. Jake's heart melted instantly. This was a moment of truth, something pure amidst chaos. His fingers brushed along the rough bark of the fallen tree as he joined her, carefully shifting the branches to allow Mia to reach the puppy. It squirmed, its little whimpers breaking through the symphony of the storm. Got it. With a gentle tug, Mia pulled the puppy free, cradling it against her chest. Its tiny body shook, but its eyes lit up as it recognized warmth and safety. "Is it okay?" Jake asked, kneeling beside her. "It will be." Mia's voice softened as she stroked the puppy's wet fur, her eyes sparkling with a mixture of relief and joy. "Look at it, Jake. We have to take care of it." A smile spread across his face involuntarily. Seeing her heart open like this reminded him of all the reasons he'd fallen for her. "Okay, let us bring it inside. We can't leave it out here." They rushed back to the tent, a newfound spirit amplifying their bond. As they settled back inside with the puppy wrapped snugly in a blanket, the storm seemed to quiet down, almost as if the world itself was in awe of their unexpected companionship. "What should we name her?" Mia asked, her eyes glinting with excitement. "Something strong. Like a warrior," Jake suggested, feeling the warmth of the moment wrapping around them. "Luna," Mia said, her voice softening, as the puppy nuzzled closer. "She's our little warrior." Jake couldn't help but laugh, looking at Mia and Luna, the three of them cocooned in this strange little world away from reality. But deep down, a question nudged at him: could they really fight the battles waiting for them, rebuilt on this moment? As Mia pulled him closer, he wondered if this was the healing they both needed. "So what now? After this, how do we face your dad again?" Mia's expression changed, the happiness fading slightly. "We face him together, but first, I need to share something important with you." Her eyes grew serious, and Jake felt the weight settle back upon him. What had she been hiding? What else could change the dynamic they had just begun to rebuild? Mia took a deep breath, the air thick with unsaid words hanging between them like the storm outside. The glow of their flashlight flickered softly, illuminating the little puppy nestled in her arms. Luna gazed up at them, blissfully unaware of the tension in the air, embodying a sense of hope that Jake desperately wanted to hold on to. "Mia, whatever it is, you can tell me," Jake urged, his heart picking up pace for reasons beyond the storm. He wanted to be her anchor, especially now as uncertainty clouded their path. She shifted, her fingers playing with the puppy's fur. 3 years ago, after the fallout with my dad, I found something." Her voice wavered, and the storm outside seemed to mirror her turmoil. "I thought it was better to keep it from you, to protect you." Jake furrowed his brow, trying to recall that time, the anger, the betrayal, the way their lives had twisted, sending shockwaves into their friendship. "What did you find?" he asked quietly, afraid of the answer. "It was a letter. A letter that explained everything." Mia paused, her eyes searching his. "It revealed truths about my dad, things he did that I never knew at the time. He's been guarding secrets that could ruin everything." Jake felt an icy knot in his stomach. "Secrets? What kind of secrets?" "Mia, you're freaking me out." "Jake, he was involved in some shady stuff. I learned it all after I left, after the last big fight we had," she added, her voice cracking slightly. "And there's more. I didn't just leave because of him." "What do you mean?" Mia glanced towards Luna, who had begun to squirm, sensing the intensity around her. "I thought that if I told you everything, I would lose you too. I didn't want to hurt you." Jake reached out to cup her face, desperate to reassure her, but he was also grappling with the enormity of what she was saying. "Mia, you could never lose me. But if there is something important happening with your dad, we need to face it together." She nodded slowly. "I know. The letter mentioned something about a chapter from his past, a business deal gone wrong. I dug deep enough that I think I can prove he has been lying about a lot. But I had to confront him first before sharing everything. You have to understand, I chose to keep you safe." Her honesty hit him like a wave, powerful and overwhelming, stinging at the confidence he'd built since they sought refuge together. "So, does this mean you think he'll hurt Luna? Or us?" "No." Her gaze locked with his, her honesty shining through, even as the shadows danced around them. "I don't think he will. But I need to prepare myself. And you." Jake's heart raced, adrenaline coursing through him. Prepare for what? Mia hesitated, the weight of her thoughts visible in her expression. In that simple moment, Jake recognized how vulnerable they both were, like the puppy, caught in the rain without a clue of what was lurking around. Whatever comes next, I just don't want you to doubt me. You mean too much to me. The finality of her words felt like a vow. Before he could respond, the tent shifted violently as another gust of wind rattled it. The sound reminded him of their world crashing around them. Maybe we should go back inside, he suggested, wanting to shield them from whatever was threatening the fragile peace they'd found. Let us just stay a little longer, Mia murmured. I feel safe with you. As Luna made a soft whimper, Jake instinctively wrapped his arms around them both, trying to contain their warmth against the chill outside. Whatever it is, we'll tackle it. Together. He felt her relax into him, and in that embrace, hope flickered subtly against the weight of their unknowns. But would it be enough to face the truth they were about to uncover? As the storm began to ease, the silence that followed felt pregnant with anticipation for what was yet to come. They both knew that the journey ahead wouldn't be easy, but facing it together might just lead to a light they hadn't dared to hope for. What if it's worse than we imagine? Mia whispered, almost to herself. Jake tightened his grip. Then we rise up, no matter what. But the thought lingered in the hollow of his heart, echoing, how deep do the secrets go? Jake pulled Mia a little closer, feeling the warmth of her body mingle with the small heat radiating from Luna. The storm outside continued to taper off, but the thoughts swirling in his mind were far more turbulent. What kind of secrets could your dad have been involved in? He asked, trying to keep his voice steady, but a tremor slipped through, revealing his unease. Mia shifted slightly, the light from their flashlight casting fleeting shadows on the side of the tent. I don't know all the details yet, she admitted, her tone a mixture of fear and determination. But the letter hinted at something criminal, something that could implicate him in ways that would shock everyone. I wish I could tell you more, but I still don't have all the pieces. But you're going to confront him? Yes. The single word hung in the air between them, heavy with meaning. Jake's instincts kicked in. When? Soon. I just need to figure out how to approach it. He's not going to take kindly to me asking questions. She took a deep breath as if steeling herself against an unseen enemy. He's always been controlling, and I have to tread lightly. Jake's protective instinct surged. I don't like the idea of you doing this alone. I'm coming with you. Mia shook her head. No, this is something I have to do for myself. I've spent too long under his shadow. But what if things get dangerous? What if he gets angry? Jake pressed, desperation creeping into his voice as he envisioned all the scenarios where things could go wrong. I know, but if I don't stand up to him now, I'll never be able to. She looked into his eyes, her gaze steady and filled with something that made Jake fear for her safety but also admire her courage. He let out a sigh, feeling the weight of helplessness settle over him. You're right, but promise me you'll at least let me know when it's happening. I'll be around. Promise, she whispered. They sat in silence, the fading rumble of thunder outside giving way to the gentle sound of raindrops, a sound so different from the boisterous storm they'd been sheltered from earlier. It felt like a small reprieve, a glimmer of hope amid the chaos of their lives. Suddenly, Luna, sensing the tension easing, began to bounce in Mia's arms. The puppy's excitement was infectious. See? Mia smiled, her eyes lighting up. Even Luna knows the storm is clearing. We can move past this. Jake chuckled softly, feeling a rush of affection. That girl really does know how to lighten the mood. Mia stroked Luna's fur, as if drawing comfort from the little creature. Maybe it's a sign that we're ready to face our own storm head-on. As she spoke, the fragile hope between them started to take root, nourishing their spirits. For a brief moment, they laughed, finding joy in the simplicity of their connection, forgetting the weight of impending revelations. But even as laughter rolled like gentle waves, a nagging thought clung to Jake. He couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to this than either of them understood. "Mia," he said, his tone shifting, "if your dad is hiding something dangerous, you have to be cautious." "We both do. I know. But I can't let it control my life anymore. I want to know the truth for me and for us." An uneasy silence fell between them once more, and Jake could see the resolve hardening in her eyes. "Okay, then. Let us promise to keep fighting together, whatever comes. Together." As the last remnants of the storm faded into nothingness beyond their tent, a haunting uncertainty brewed within him. He glanced at Mia, resolute yet vulnerable, and felt the depth of their bond resurface, stronger yet fraught with the reality of their situation. Outside, the world was clearing, but inside, shadows still loomed. Jake knew what lay ahead was a new kind of battle against a past neither of them was prepared to fully confront. "Just remember," he murmured. "No matter what the truth turns out to be, I'll be here. Always." With that promise hanging in the air, Mia nodded, but Jake could see that her heart was racing not just from fear, but from anticipation as well. What awaited them on the other side of the confrontation? Would the truth set them free, or bind them further in darkness? Morning light filtered through the fabric of the tent, casting soft shadows that danced against the walls. Jake stirred, feeling the gentle nudge of Luna's wet nose against his cheek. His eyes blinked open, and he found Mia seated cross-legged, already awake, lost in thought. "Hey," he said, his voice a rough whisper, still caught between dreams and reality. Mia turned, her expression a mix of relief and strength. "Morning. I was thinking." She paused, biting her lower lip as if the words were caught in her throat. "About today?" Jake ventured, sitting up and brushing the sleep from his eyes. He felt the weight of what lay ahead, what they had promised each other. Her nod was subtle but firm. "Yeah. I need to get my dad to talk. I can't wait anymore." She took a deep breath, visible determination brewing in her gaze. Jake pulled himself closer to her, a sense of urgency wrapping around them like a thick fog. "Have you thought about how you're going to start? I figured I'd keep it simple. Just ask him about the letter. See how he reacts." Her brows furrowed, searching for more clarity. "I just feel like he knows I'm onto him." His heart raced at the thought. "Mia, if he does, that could change everything. I just want you to be safe." "I know," she replied, her voice steady but soft. "But I need to face this. I can't keep living in the dark, waiting for something to happen." Jake nodded, his gut twisting with anxiety. They shared a moment of silence, the weight of the decision hanging in the air. "I'll go with you," he insisted softly. "Not to confront him, but to be there for you. You know, just in case." Mia's smile was faint but genuine. "You really don't have to. This is my fight. Then let me help you win it. I'll be right outside the door." After a moment of hesitation, she finally agreed. "All right, but you stay out of it unless things get out of hand." Relief washed over him. At least he could protect her from the worst of her father's wrath. They spent the morning preparing, gathering the last of their supplies while Luna dashed around, seemingly unaware of the turmoil brewing just outside their little sanctuary. Jake couldn't shake the feeling, though, that today would be pivotal not just for Mia, but for both of them. As they broke camp, packing everything away, he noticed how Mia's hands trembled just slightly. "You ready?" he asked gently. "Yeah," she replied, trying to sound confident, but her voice wavered. "I'm proud of you, Mia. No matter what happens, I'll be here." She glanced at him, her eyes reflecting both fear and determination. "Thanks, Jake. For everything." The car ride felt charged, every mile pushing them closer to confrontation. The closer they got, the more overwhelmed Mia seemed. Her eyes focused on the road ahead, yet she seemed to be somewhere far away. "You've got this," he reassured her, reaching over to give her hand a tight squeeze. As they pulled into the driveway, a sense of dread gripped him. A looming house waited before them, a fortress of secrets. Mia took a deep breath, her knuckles white as she gripped the steering wheel. "Here goes nothing," she whispered. "Wait," Jake said suddenly, heart racing. "What if we find out something we're not ready for?" Mia looked at him, eyes wide. "Then we'll deal with it together." With a nod, they stepped out of the car, the weight of what lay ahead settling between them. As they approached the door, the sky darkened abruptly, clouds rolling in as if to mirror their apprehension. Jake's heart pounded, every beat echoing his concern. Neither of them knew what awaited them on the other side. But one thing was certain, the truth was about to shatter their world either for better or worse. And just like that, Jake realized sometimes the hardest part wasn't facing the truth, but the uncertainty of what it might mean for them both. Mia's hand shook as she reached for the doorbell. It felt like an eternity while they stood there waiting, and every second dragged as dark clouds rolled overhead, mirroring the storm within her. She glanced at Jake, whose brow was furrowed, his concern palpable. "Are you sure about this?" he asked, his voice a low murmur, just for her. She nodded, forcing a deep breath, trying to steal away the pounding anxiety in her chest. The moment stretched unbearably. She pressed the doorbell, and the sound echoed through the hollow entrance of the house. Silence hung heavy before the door creaked open. Mia's father stood there, a mixture of surprise and annoyance painting his features. The joy of reunion was absent, replaced instead by a wary wariness that filled the air between them. "Mia," he said, his tone clipped. "What are you doing here?" Before she could answer, he stepped aside, clearing the way. "Come in, I suppose." Jake stayed back, hovering at the edge, unsure of his role. Mia hesitated, feeling Jake's comforting presence fade further away. Yet, deep down, she knew she needed to walk this path alone, with him as her shadow. Inside, the house felt colder than she remembered. Each step echoed with memories, dinner conversations, laughter that had long since faded. Mia took a breath, trying to steady her racing heart. "Dad, we need to talk," she said, gripping her hands together to hold them steady. "About the letter." "The letter?" He raised an eyebrow, an unreadable expression cloaking his face. "Yeah. The one you mentioned a few weeks ago. I want to know what it means." Her voice trembled slightly, but she pushed past the fear. His eyes narrowed, and for a second, she feared he might deny everything. "There's nothing you need to know," he replied curtly, turning away as if dismissing her entirely. "No," she pressed, moving closer. "You can't keep lying to me, Dad. I won't let you. I know something is wrong." He turned back to face her, anger sparking in his gaze. "What do you think you know, Mia? You have no idea the trouble you're stirring up." The moment hung thick between them, an invisible barrier built of years of secrets. "Please, just tell me the truth," she implored, her voice raw with emotion. "I'm tired of living in the dark." He opened his mouth, hesitating as if the weight of his world hung on the next words. As the silence dragged on, the air shifted, filled with the anticipation of revelation. Just then, a sudden crash of thunder broke the stillness, rattling the windows. It seemed to echo everything she felt. Jake, still outside, watched intently. The storm outside became a mere backdrop to the tempest brewing between father and daughter. Finally, he sighed, dropping his head in defeat. "Fine. But you won't like what you hear." Mia's heart raced. She sensed the tide turning, the truth getting ready to surface, but layered with a sense of dread. Was she ready for whatever he had to say? "Let us talk," she urged, stepping further into the storm brewing in the room. Just as they found a moment of connection, shattered by a sudden explosion of thunder, it felt as though time froze. Shadows danced ominously along the walls, and the weight of the revelation felt more pressing than any storm. "Mia." Jake called from the door, his voice breaking through their tense moment. "Are you okay?" Her heart stopped. She glanced between her father and the door. I need to know," she said again, her voice almost a whisper. Her father's eyes shifted, a mix of regret and a hint of something softer emerging. But before he could speak, Jake's urgent presence loomed in her mind. What was happening? And as the air thickened and anticipation crackled, she realized she was not just battling her father's secrets. She was confronting her own fears, and possibly a future she never saw coming. In that charged silence, the weight of two worlds hung between them. Just what was the truth, and how would it shape them moving forward? There was no turning back now. With every beat of her heart, the realization dawned this moment could change everything. But what awaited them? On the other side of a simple truth? Mia held her breath, caught in the whirlwind of emotions as her father shifted beneath the weight of scrutiny. Jake's worried voice echoed in her mind, grounding her as the world swirled with uncertainty. Thunder rumbled outside, a reminder that storms were loud but fleeting. "Tell me," she insisted, her voice tight but resolute. "What do you have to say?" Her father's lips twitched, caught in a conflict that mirrored the turbulent sky. "Mia, some things are better left in the past. Your childhood I made decisions to protect you." "Protect me?" She shot back, a fire igniting in her chest. "By lying to me? By using me and Jake against each other?" His face hardened, and for a moment, Mia wondered if he would retreat behind his walls again, cloaking himself in indifference. But then, the shadows shifted, doubts fled as he met her gaze with a flicker of vulnerability. "That was never my intention," he said with a strain. "It was complicated. I thought I was doing what was best." As the storm outside intensified, a sense of calm enveloped Mia, overwhelming her fear. "Complicated or not, the truth will set us free. Don't you understand? It's tearing us apart." "Sometimes the truth is a weapon," he replied softly, his voice trembling. "Your life, my life, is built around lies and deceptions. I kept you safe from enemies lurking in the shadows." The weight of his words hung in the air, tangible, like the electricity before a lightning strike. With a shaky breath, Mia fought back the tears blurring her vision. "Look around, Dad. I'm not a little girl anymore. I can handle the truth. You're suffocating me." A heavy pause wrapped around them, the silence shattered by another crash of thunder just as Jake stepped cautiously through the door. The intensity between them intensified as he stood firm, his presence a protective barrier. "Jake, it's okay," Mia said, glancing over her shoulder. He didn't have to jump into the fray. This was her moment. "I need to face him." He met her gaze, an unspoken assurance passing between them, before slowly stepping back, hands raised in surrender. Whatever happened next was solely Mia's. Her father swallowed hard, the flicker of anger dimming as fatigue swept over him. "I didn't want things to escalate like this," he admitted at last, his voice shaky. "Then stop pretending. Just tell me what really happened." Mia pleaded, her throat tightening. She could see the battle waging within him, and the shadows of their history began to flicker and fade into the light of truth. "Years ago I got involved with people I shouldn't have," he finally confessed, eyes drifting to the ground. "I made choices that spiraled out of control. And I used you both as pawns in my game." Mia felt the ground have shifted underneath her, a foundation she thought solid crumbling away. "What kind of game?" "The kind that could ruin lives," he muttered, the weight of regret hanging between them like a shroud. "I thought if I set you against each other, I could control the outcome, ensure you never saw the truth." Emotion surged through Mia like a wave. "But it tore us apart. The scheming, the lies, it broke everything. And for what? I thought you'd be safer that way, living out these mediocre lives, oblivious to the tangled web I wove around you. I wanted to shelter you." how do you expect to protect someone with walls that high? Jake interjected, stepping closer now, his voice low but firm. Mia looked to him, feeling the strength of his presence bolster her heart. The only way to protect us is to be honest. Don't you get that? Her father took a deep, shuddering breath. You're right. I lost sight of that, he said finally, his voice cracking. I underestimated you both, and I underestimated love, loyalty, and trust. As if the sky heard her plea, the clouds began to part outside. A beam of sunlight broke through, illuminating the room with a golden glow, revealing the truth among the ashes of their shattered past. Dad, Mia whispered, feeling something shift, we need to start over. Together. And in that moment, she realized forgiveness was its own kind of storm, hard to navigate, but powerful enough to wash away even the deepest scars. I want to make it right, he replied, eyes glistening with unshed tears. We can face everything together. Please, I need your help to make amends. With a nod, Mia felt the tension begin to ease. We'll do it together. Then, as if responding to the surge of hope, Jake took a step forward. We're a team, Mia. Don't forget that. You and me against the world. The warmth radiating in the room felt like a promise, a new beginning wrapped in warmth and sincerity. Thank you for standing by her, Mia's father whispered, his eyes softening as he glanced at Jake. You've kept her strong through all of this. Yes, I have, Jake affirmed, a fierce determination behind those words. Mia felt tears spill, but this time they weren't from sorrow, they were tears of hope, the beginning of a healing journey that continued to unfold. Together, they would break free from the chains of the past, embracing vulnerability and honesty. Okay, so who do we start with? With the atmosphere finally shifting outside, it felt like the weight of centuries had lifted off of all their shoulders. Let us clean up this mess first, her father replied, a hint of a smile emerging. Then we'll figure out how to confront those I've wronged. But know this, I'll fight for you both, Mia. With hearts pounding and a renewed purpose guiding their steps, Mia, Jake, and her father began to untangle those lost threads, guiding their futures towards something bright and unfettered. As they stepped outside, the sun broke through completely, illuminating everything around them. In the aftermath of their storm, new dreams began to take root against the vibrant backdrop of possibility. Mia turned to Jake, who was smiling at her, filled with a warmth she had missed for so long. We can do this, he said. Yes, we can, she replied, lifting her gaze to the vastness of the sky, each whisper of the past fading beneath the brilliant light. And with renewed spirits, the trio stood firmly together, ready to face anything that came their way. This was their moment, their journey, beginning anew. You need to subscribe now to not miss the next exclusive stories that inspire and transform. Leave a like now if this hit your heart and you want more happy endings. Comment your reactions and feelings about this powerful conclusion. We love hearing from you. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this incredible transformation. Don't wait not even one more second to spread the love.